Hey, welcome. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining me. So, today's reading is the person on your mind. What are their thoughts? What are they thinking about you at the moment? All right. So, we do have three groups for you to choose from. Group one, the Peacock's Oar. Group two, the Clear Quartz Geode. And group three, the Citrine Crystal. All right. So, group one, two, and three. If you do want to take a moment to choose your group, go ahead, but I will see you all in your readings. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading is for you. What are their thoughts about you? My mind totally went blank. What are their thoughts about you at the moment? We have Three of Cups upright, King of Wands upright as well. All right, so they think you're part of a good team. This could be possibly that you have a good support system or you're a part of a good community. For some of you, this could be referring to like where you live and the people that you're surrounded by, even if it's not, your intimate circle of people. But yeah, they think that you're loved and respected as well. They could wonder though if you have any genuine friendships. They do think you guys need to go out somewhere or go out together more often, like in more relaxed, fun environments. They could be worried about interacting with you socially. One second. For some of you, they could be afraid of how that might look. Or they're worried about like the external factors, like people who surround you both. But they're not worried about interacting with you socially because of anything you've done or they've done, or the both of you together. It does feel more like it's about external factors more than anything else. And if this is someone who doesn't know you very well, they do think you could be married or you're in another serious relationship. They could think you're possibly going to get married soon or you're just celebrating something significant. But they do think you both need to develop an emotional connection, or they think this is something that you're currently growing. And if this is something that you guys are currently growing, that is was clarified by the Ace of Wands, that they could really think it's a good thing, or they feel really good about it, or they feel like this is maybe the start of something, new or exciting, or it's like the more emotionally connected they become with you, the more passionate they feel. But they do think of you as someone who's stable and strong. They think you're compassionate and kind as well. They do think you're independent and you know exactly what you want. They also think you're a powerful speaker as well, and that when you speak, when you have conversations, when you debate, you do it with conviction. They do think you're quite fearless as well. But they do think about how passionate they feel about you. And finally, they do think you are a good leader. But yeah, there's not much else coming out with these cards. Okay, so we have emotional. So for a lot of you who chose this group, when this person thinks about you, they do get quite emotional. Do you have more from this? But it doesn't feel like they think you're emotional or anything like that. We also have relaxed. So they do think you maybe need to relax more when you're around them. It could make them feel like they're not doing enough to make you feel like safe and secure. We also have quiet. So they also think about how they struggle with what to say around you. Do you have more from this one? They do think about how they want you to maybe how they want you to encourage them to open up to you more, or they want you to or they want you to initiate more, and they kind of want you to maybe make them feel comfortable, or feel like I give them the green light to be more, I don't know if outgoing is the word, it could be outgoing, clarified by two, the Ace of Wands and the Strength card. So they could want you to kind of give them the green light to be a bit more assertive with you, or be more passionate, or action oriented and more aggressive in some way. And we also have intense. So their feelings for you are quite intense. But they think that you don't want them to be intense, or that you don't want them to be overwhelming. They could think that you maybe want them or prefer for them to be a bit more chill. So we have sensitive emotions. Where should I put this? Okay. So the person you're asking about, they think that you need to be softer with them, like more gentle. Do you have more from that one? Okay. We also have heightened intuition. So they do think that you are confident and you really trust yourself. You really trust maybe your judgment, your intuition, what your mind and your gut's telling you. So we have spread your wings and fly. So they do think about traveling with you. Hmm. Yeah. So we also have dance. So for some of you, they do think about whether or not you guys would be able to fall into a rhythm eventually. There's also more coming out with this card. I'm not sure what the message is. So if you do have your own interpretation of that dance card, then please take it. And finally, we have determination. So they do think you are quite a determined person as well. This could be about them, but it could just be about you in general. But that's all I have for this group. I hope it could resonate and make sense, but I'm wishing you all the best, alright? Hey, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Chosen the second group and this reading's for you. So the person on your mind, what are their thoughts on you at the moment? Page of Swords, Seven of Wands, both in the upright. So the person you're asking about, they possibly think you don't listen to other people, or you listen, but you're not really trying to understand the other person's perspective, what they're trying to say, the point that they are trying to get across. They do think you need to hear other people out more often. And this may be only for a few of you, but for some of you, they think you don't have enough experience in something that you're currently pursuing. Could be something you shared with them recently. But they think that you have received good news lately, and they're happy. They're happy for you. They're happy that you have received this news. They do think you are keeping an eye on them, or you're trying to keep an eye on them, and they do think you care about them as well. They think you're still learning and that you like to learn. They do think that you aren't honest with them at times, with them, maybe with yourself as well, which they do think makes it harder for them to, protect you in some way or to stand up for you. And they do think you are keeping secrets from them as well. They think that they can't trust you with their own secrets or with their own personal, business and things that they do have going on. They do think about you quite often though, and they are curious about you. But they do think you can be manipulative at times. It's like they think you try to trick them or other people with your words, maybe the way you word certain things. But they do think you have great ideas. At times, they think you are standing for the wrong things. They do think you can be critical as well. This could be of them specifically, or it could just be in general. But it does feel like they think you're more critical of them as opposed to being critical other people. They do think you deal with a lot of conflict though. For some of you though, they do think you could be attacking other people. It doesn't mean like, it doesn't need to be in like the physical sense. It could be, with your words. And sometimes they think that you don't have the nicest things to say, or maybe you don't word things in the nicest way. So they do think maybe you need to be sensitive or take a softer approach at times. But they could think that you expect other people to be gentle with you. But maybe you're not really the same when it comes to other people. So they could also think you don't really get involved when it comes to arguments. There could be another message with this, so if you have another message, then please take that one as well. So for some of you, they think people aren't really strict enough with you. Or maybe they think people aren't firm enough with you. They do think you can be supportive though. They could think you do value your self-worth. For some of you, depending on your situation, they could think that you're more open to love. Or this could be like between the two of you, like more open to love them, maybe how you did in the past, or kind of just allowing that bond that you have to grow. So we have be mindful of the thoughts that you are ingesting. So they could think you need to be more mindful about what you say or about the things that you support. For some of you, this could actually be about eating with the food eaten here. So they could think you need to be more mindful about what you're eating and how that might affect you and affect your body. So we also have lottery, bet on yourself. So they do think you take risks on yourself. And finally, we have accepting challenges. So So they also think that they need to accept that your relationship and that, yeah, that your relationship may be challenging at times, or that you may challenge each other and things just aren't going to be, always balanced and smooth. But that's all I have for this group. I do hope it could resonate and make sense and be helpful. But I'm wishing you the best, all right? Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the third group, the citrine, then this reading's for you, okay? So we have the Fool. No, sorry, they were reversed. So we have the Fool and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it does feel like the person you're asking about finds you really funny. They do think you are being more mature though recently, or they think you're being less impulsive, less impatient. They do think you're more focused on the right things, like you're more focused on things that may ground you. They do think you're being patient or more patient than you were in the past. They do think things are moving quite quickly for you though, or like your lifestyle or something about your life is quite busy, fast paced, like it's just always moving quickly, because it feels like they think you don't really have much time to like rest and, chill out. They don't think you have as much fun or excitement in your life at the moment. They just think you're really busy more than usual. They do think you are putting too much effort and focus into one area of your life and possibly neglecting other areas. They do think, in their perspective, that you may need to reevaluate your priorities. It feels like even though they know or they think that you're focused on the right things, they could think that it's like too much or it's like overboard in some way. They don't really think you are paying much attention to them, but it feels like they aren't mad at you for that, but they aren't understanding either. They do think you need to have better like time management, timekeeping. They do think you need to clear your schedule and do what you can to be less busy and less occupied, so that you can pay attention to areas of your life that in their eyes they kind of perceive as failing or not working. They think you both may let each other down, or that it's, a concern that they have that you guys will let each other down eventually. And this could be because you both have so much going on. And like you guys have very like separate lives and things that you are dealing with separately. But they do think you both care about each other regardless. And they do think you're generous and they do think you're open as well. But they do kind of think they're being blocked from having anything serious with you or growing your current relationship. And they kind of just think that you're trying to juggle them with too many other things and that it's not working or that it won't work. They do think you are very unique though, but overall, they just think you need to find stability so that things will work out between the two of you eventually. They think you aren't really focused on committing to them or working on the commitment that you may already have with them. So we have goofy. So they do think you can be quite goofy. They do think you like to have fun, that you do like to have a laugh, but yeah. Or maybe circumstances are kind of just like not stopping that completely from happening, but just not as much as the past, you know? But yeah, they do think you are quite goofy. You also have frugal. So this is more of like the Four of Pentacles energy. It could be frugal when it comes to like money and stuff like that. But for some of you, and you know what's come out already in this reading, it could just be in terms of your time, your attention, your energy. But they could think you are trying to be careful financially right now. Like maybe you're trying to cut back, save costs in other areas of your life. We also have ambitious. So they do think that you want to be ambitious. They think you are ambitious for the most part as well. So for a lot of you here, like they do think they're going to have to surprise you. I don't know what this surprise is going to be about, but yeah. They just think they have to do something surprising for you, or maybe it would be nice to do something surprising for you. So we also have let yourself sparkle and shine. So for a lot of you here, like they do feel like right now you aren't letting yourself sparkle and shine, maybe like you usually do. Maybe they think you don't really have the time to take care of yourself as much as you want to, or as much as they think you should be taking care of yourself. So we also have divine intervention. So they could think you do need a bit of an intervention with everything that you may be kind of trying to juggle right now. They do think you need to slow down a bit. You have X, reunite with a lost part of your soul. So yeah, they do think you need to reconnect with yourself. Reconnect with them, maybe reconnect with other important people in your life, whether it's family, friends. But they could think that right now you are a bit lost in yourself. For some of you, they could think that you need to let people help you, maybe let them help you. Opt for more support with the family card. And finally, we have celebrate life. So they do think maybe you need to like focus less on work and focus more on celebrating life, just enjoying the present, enjoying the moment, you know? But that's all I have for those of you who chose this group. I really do hope it could be helpful and make sense, but I'm wishing you all the best, all right? Take care.